Good morning, Internet. This is Coach Kent, Superbike-Coach Corp, and this is, I believe, episode part 15, and today is supposed to be, what's that called? Revelation? No, whatever. I want to show you finally the entire bike. The problem is right now, in Laguna Seca, I was catching up on the group then, and there was I believe it was a Yamaha R1, but it was spraying gas over me, and that kind of sticks to the bike now. I have to take the upper fairing off to clean this all out, because it goes everywhere, right? You have, what's that, residues, whatever. And I have to remove that. It just looks bad, and I just can't stand that. So before I make you a nice video, a walk around, and show the entire bike, I will have to clean this all up. Still working on my suspension. The rear shock needs to be shorter. I got to do that. It shouldn't be a big deal. I already figured out how to do that, and I just need some helping hands here to get that done. So it shouldn't be too long from here. Hope you wait it out. Alright, I got it. I lowered the shock, the shock length by 5 mil. I think that's a good start out point. Nothing too wild, nothing too special. It should work out fine. I still have room to play. And especially since this bike also has adjustments for the swing arm pivot point, I can play with this as well. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass, because in order to reach this, first when I did this, when I raised the ride height, the rear tire was out. I want to save that work, and I took this link out. Did I ever mention how cheap this looks like? I mean, on a bike like that, this is like, what's that, third world steel somewhere, pushed out of a full piece of steel and put it on. So this is kind of, I'm looking into the market, what's out there. Maybe even finding some adjustable linkages here and make that easier. So I wanted to take this out. Means 2 bolts out, and then take this out. I had to jack it up a little bit to take sitting pressure off here, and then this came out, so I had access to the lock nut and the adjuster bolt here, which is super cool, because you can turn with the upper one. You can bring the shock up or down. How cool is that, huh? So and now I'm putting the lower fairings on, clean it all up. As I mentioned before, I had gas stains on the fairings there. It's also underneath the windshield and stuff. That goes everywhere when someone is spraying you with gas. God damn it! And he did. You know, after all, I went to the guy. I tried to remember who that was. Went out to the guy, which was actually, he was part of the organization themselves. I don't want to mention the name, but even going to the guy and telling him, hey, you're spraying gas. God knows how much, right? I mean, I could see it. I mean, I could smell it. And maybe it gets even worse. They just give you a smile. And you're like, yeah, well, you know, let me check. But I bet he never did. That's the world we're living in, actually, right? But anyway, there's actually more stuff went down the drain where I better don't say a word about it, because that makes me the bad guy here, right? So anyway, we're close. And then I will bring out the bike, make pictures, take video, and then you get to finally see it. I hope you love it as much as I do. So yeah, there it is. I hope you like it as much as I do. I think pictures and videos don't do it justice. You see this bike just live here, touching it, and you know this is quality performance shit. So I took it back into the garage to do some reflections, all the stuff I did, and well, maybe not all of it, but hey, just to give it a little roundup, and you maybe look back to the videos I did. I think it started from the conversion video, the introduction, and up to this one here. I believe that's 15. But there's more to come because I want to do some customizations. I think I said that in one of the clips. I don't like this bracket here, just like the one on the other side. I'm finding ways now to get this done in carbon and then way smaller, not going over 2 bolts, etc. Just one down, because in the end it doesn't have to hold much. What else? And the keyhole here, which got senseless because I can't reach it anymore with the key to open up this part here to get to the GPS and DDA. I can remove that, finding even more weight as well, and then doing some other stuff. So stay tuned with those videos. So yeah, I think I said in the very beginning what I was planning to do, and that was going in multiple directions. That is performance, weight reduction, heat management, and yeah, I think that, I mean, in the end they're all coming kind of together. That's a given. But you chase one after another, and it leads to the big goal. So starting out with the changing the windshield to something wider and lower, and it's got a little whoop there as well. These are the original wings, which gives you around 30 kilograms of downforce. I installed these babies here, which I really like. That's like fucking MotoGP right there. This is not just brake cooling, this is also functioning like a diffuser. When the bike is in lean, they're coming lower, and then they function like a diffuser. Not as much, probably very likely not as much as in MotoGP, because they can actually adjust the ankle and bring him closer down. When you look at MotoGP bike in full lean ankle and see these things almost scraping the ground, then you get an idea what they're good for. So then I installed, well, let's finish up the aerodynamics. So I installed the belly pan extension here. The longer, the more close the belly pan is, the more speed are you making down the straights. That's just a given. Otherwise, this also would be open if I wouldn't have done that, and then that would be a ugly thing to look at. I love the way it looks now. So yeah. So aerodynamics. What else was that? Well, I installed I don't know. It's more or less like about the aesthetics, but it kind of does its job too. This is a little carbon cover for the side stand. It makes it closer. It kind of also gives it a better touch, don't you think? Yeah. So, well, let's finish the carbon off. This has less to do with the aerodynamics, but I installed a way shorter rear tire hugger there, modified the shit out of it to get rid of that ugly street bike looking chain guard, things like that. So, and then a bunch of more carbon went in, like the underseat tray, those covers here, which I actually helping with the heat there when your knees are there, your legs are there. Otherwise, the lower the subframe here is heating up, and that keeps you away from that a little. And then I installed what they so-call frame protectors. What are they protecting? I mean, if you have a crash and they come to action, then you have way other problems than that. Yeah. So why am I still having a side stand on a track bike? Well, going in and out with my students, and if I'm working with people, I don't even have time, and I don't want to have time to put the damn thing on a paddock stand and shit like that. So I'm coming in and out, have the bike parked on the side stand, and that's it. Yeah. Plus, it kind of doesn't match the goal. I went with this type of fairing. I'm coming to this in a minute, and it will make even more sense. So what else have we done? Oh my god, so much. So you might remember we were looking into the weight savings there, that including the exhaust, that is somewhere in the 25 pounds, which doesn't sound much, but as a rough comparison, this bike here is as heavy as a Ninja 400 curb weight. Yeah, no shit. At a 245 horsepower now. Yeah, performance-wise, there is a BT tune, stage 2 tune now, which I will explain in another more detailed video. So, why did I go with this fairing? Why didn't I go with a race fairing? Yeah, I have people running around in the paddock smiling stupidly at you and then going like, "Hey, you should use a race fairing. I mean, you're going down," and like, look. My original fairing is safely packed up in a big box up in the attic. Totally safe. You know, those fairings, as you probably know, are extremely expensive. They are safe now. So why not a race fairing? Because a race fairing is about that pricey as this one. And around the $800-900, including tax and shipping. So what it doesn't have is paint. No paint, nothing. Sure, if I would go with a full carbon, so which is even more expensive than that, sure, then kinda you don't need paint because carbon looks fucking awesome, but not that awesome. So, and you have a problem, and that's the fitting, right? So when you look at race fairings, they are all over the place. Nothing actually fits well. These seams here, yeah, all this. You have like nice waves in there, and nothing is really straight, nothing is plain. This here is as snug as the original fairing, and it fits 100%. I have my guys there in China. This is a free market. This might sound bad, but the American dream is made in China. This is a free market. And since most American companies, just like brake parts, carbon and all that stuff, actually is made in China, putting their labels on, do not blame me for buying in China. Now, this fairing here, all that stuff, original stuff, even with the stuff inside, which I didn't use, all the plastics underneath, etc., even with a more or less quality windshield, comes for $750, and that includes the paint I want. I give them a draw up, a design, and then they go for it. I tell them exactly what colors I want, where my stickers going, and they even make then all these stickers. And this here is all under clear coat. Everything is under clear coat. You can't see that, but it is all under clear coat. Right there, you can see it here. Yeah, no shit. All of that for $750. Yeah. So these guys are extremely patient with everything. After you send them your design wishes and the colors and all that, they come back and forth to you until they really understand what you want, and then they go to work. They have a huge portfolio of fairings there for literally every goddamn sport bike. Yeah. So that's not the first one I'm buying with them. Cleopatra, my previous Ducati, all these fairings from them. And in all these times, I didn't had to drill up oval shape a hole to make things fit. They go on. Here I put some more work into it. I made the holes a little bigger to, not to fuck around getting the bolts in and out. That is coming mostly because when they're painting this, the holes getting smaller. But if they would fit 100%. So where was I? The design. So now they're coming back to you. And then before they put the clear coat on, they send you a bunch of pictures, and then you tell them you're happy or not. If you are, they go and then put the stickers on, and then they send you again a bunch of pictures until you're happy. I had some changes to do. They did some mistakes with the Superbike-Coach logo down there. They made new ones, and it took half a week. And then I got pictures again. Until I said, that's it. Clear coat the damn thing. So this whole process here, this whole bike, the whole process was maybe 5 weeks. It took a little longer because they made these mistakes there, and then that extended it a little. But I had the time. I knew that was coming, so I was not worried about it. I was not mad. So yes. So this is almost, I would say, like a 90% manufacturer level paint job. Why is it not 100%? Because you can see it, hardly can see it on the camera. But there are some flaws in here. I think this came from the packing, which I'm not 100% happy with, but I will address this once I'm making another order, and then they will hopefully then take care of that. Usually, I think I said that in one of the early videos, or when the fairing came, etc. Usually they do the inside parts. That's hard to see. The inside parts here, which you actually see, that's this, and in here, like there and there. Usually they black this out for me. I mean, this, if you don't mind, then you don't. But they do this for me. But they forgot this time, so I sat there for a few hours and. I was painting it black. So, but that's me, that's maybe that German in me, that little bit of, let's say, a lot of OCD going on. I like it this way. I like it perfect. I don't like to look up, because if it's not black, and they're painting all of that, so you have all kinds of colors then there inside and here, which would fuck with my brain. So I sat there with matte black paint and a brush and took care of that. And now it looks like that. Just a perfect finish, right? Yeah. So, what else have I done? Oh yeah, then I went a lot. The suspension, etc., changing the geometry because I was not happy with the agility of the bike there from the get-go. So I, extended the shock a little, bigger rear tire on. I think I mentioned all of that in other videos, and the Ys, so all of that has been done. There's more to do, especially after my gig in Laguna Seca. It turns out that the suspension need even more love, but this is all in the clickers now. I was considering to maybe going with a different rear shock spring, but I have to look into what's available there. Yeah. So the rear sets, I left them stock. I think they actually look okay. They look good, actually, and I didn't see sense to change to buy like for $700 to $1,000 or even more dollars a rear set, which literally has the same math. So it won't change much the position of where your feet are. Yeah, sure, you could go up and down here and there if you have adjustable, and I wish that was, but I'm not spending that money for that. I will adapt to those. Yeah. Yeah, heat management. Big time, big thing here, especially with the Panigales. If you ever had one, then you know how they're cooking. So a lot of insulation went into this, especially in the lower parts, the fairing. When I prepared the fairing, all the insulation is in the right places. Nothing got burned, so that's a good sign. In Laguna Seca, nothing was burned. And then I also added more insulation into this part here. This is where your legs are, and I also like to change color if you don't do that. So, and this is actually a really expensive original carbon part. I insulated the underside of the tank here because you might remember in the first video I said that after a little test ride through the city, the tank was hot. I mean, when the tank is hot, you're heating up, the gas heats up, and that costs performance, So all of that is insulated. You can actually still see it here. All the covers here, which are blocking side to these beautiful cylinders there, has been removed so that the air actually can flow into this area and cools all of this off where you're sitting on. And the tank, right? The tank is down here as well. So all of that has been done. Then I installed a guard, rocket guard down there at the oil cooler. That has quite some importance, especially when, on the track there's not much of a rocks laying around, but when you're riding on the street, that's a must. I would consider using a guard up there. I think I also mentioned that, because if you make a self-experiment, hold your hand in front of a running air fan and then hold a guard in between you and the wind stream, you feel the reduction. So I live with the risk. And in all the years I'm doing this, making this decision, I never had a rock hit in the radiator. Yeah, but not saying that never gonna happen, but I live with the risk. So these guys here are actually the fairing painter in China. Go Motor Trip. Go look them up. They have a lot of stuff and a lot of fairings, literally for all the sport bikes. Yeah. So I'm going to prepare now for class tomorrow. We have the Superbike-Coach suspension workshop and track time. Tomorrow go to prepare for that class, and then this is actually some real cool shit. Nobody else actually offers stuff like that. We have people coming from all over the country for stuff like that, and they will learn everything all about suspension setup, geometry, tires, and all that, because everything else is buying clicks. So we teach people to fish and not just serve a meal. So in between, they're actually going on the track, feeling the differences, and learn to report, troubleshoot, try and error. And then because without a report, without saying what the bike, being able to define what the bike feels like, how can you ever set it up? So this is coming tomorrow, and next week we have another cornering school, which is really cool stuff. Look it up if you have the time. Yeah, and then hold on for more videos. See you soon.